Hi, and welcome back to the channel. It's finally here, week 1 of Goofy training. Do you want to go on the treadmill? Let's go on the treadmill. Come on. Well, it is finally here. Week 1, run 1 of Goofy training. And of course, you probably can't tell through the window, but it's raining. It's really not that bad. It's obviously not bad enough that I'm not going to run in it, you know. It could rain on race day, so I figure might as well practice. And it's, my car is saying 71 degrees, which is better than like the 80s that I was base training in, so but nothing super exciting. I'm out here, one of my favorite places to run. I'm just going to do 3 miles. Not super exciting, but I just wanted to document this first run of training. So the reason why I'm walking a little bit on this run is because during the summer I usually will try to run with my heart rate. Like right now I should be running, so we'll do a little jog. But if my heart rate gets too high, I'll walk until it gets down back into where my watch shows, you know, the green zone, and then I'll run again if it starts to get high again. Just because, especially on really sunny days, your heart rate's gonna jump. So, to keep myself from overworking, which I've done before, overtrain, I don't want to do that again. Okay, I got a mile done. Let's keep going. 3 miles done. Did it in about 32 minutes, a little slower than I usually like, but I was getting back into the habit of using my Osmo Pocket, or, you know, I use a GoPro too, but today was the Osmo Pocket. It is humid and I am very, very sweaty. Went really well, like I said, a little slower than I would have liked, but tomorrow we're going to be doing something kind of unconventional. That being the case, I thought I would talk about what has changed with my training plan since I recorded that preview, because a couple of things have changed. So I look forward to sharing what I'm going to be doing for training tomorrow with you guys, because it's a little different. See you then. Good morning. Look what I have. When I said unconventional, we're going on a 6-mile hike, practicing for a trip we have coming up. This thing is very heavy. Look who's with me. Hey. There you are. I'm just holding the GoPro. I don't have it on my little carrier or anything today. So we're going on a hike over Blood Mountain near where we live. So this will be my training for today, and I have a feeling I'm going to be very sore. I'm at 5.96. I'm sorry I haven't like talked at all in this, but this is hard. But pretty view. If you can see, there's some couple of snakes right there.
I could poke them with my
Copperheads.
stick.
Please don't.
Why?
Why would you poke them with your stick?
Just to rile them up.
No!
Oh, see how they got that film over their eyes?
Uh-huh. Are they sleeping?
They're sunning.
Probably
Actually,
one of our last views before we're done. And what the camera didn't catch was that we got stung by what we're assuming are yellow jackets. Oh, that looks really awesome on camera. My finger swole. I have one up here somewhere. Oh, yep, right there. Here's my awesome husband. We think this is from where he was trying to use this pole to swat at his face.
There's
and
one
then
of mine.
my running buddy got stung on the ankle. Well, we made it. My running buddy helped carry my pack for the last little bit, which I appreciate.
That was a heavy load.
But, so that's the training for today. And my Garmin's only giving me 24 hours of recovery, which is ridiculous. But we'll see if I'm able to move tomorrow, but I'm thinking tomorrow might be a walking day. But oh, and here's the car that we forgot the keys to, so now we're waiting for a ride. Well, it's Friday. It has been a little bit of a week. I'm going to be doing my long run 3 miles that is on the plan today, and I'll explain why here in a little bit. But I realized on the Tuesday hike where I said I was going to talk about the things that have changed for the next, what I'm doing for training, I never did talk about. So we're going to talk about that on this little run right here. So my watch GPS has found me, so I'm going to get started. Okay, so the reason why I'm doing the long run today, Friday, instead of tomorrow, is because my little girl Sadie is actually at the vet right now. She's getting spayed today, so I'm assuming that at least for the next couple of days, I gotta give her my attention and keep her from doing anything that will disrupt her recovery. Being 100% real, my anxiety is just so high about all of that. Not even so much the procedure, just the recovery and keeping her from, because she's high energy, she's a springer, keeping her from doing anything that will hurt any of that. But I was just thinking, that's one good thing about taking up running is it gets me out here, gives me time to think and pray, and quite honestly just beg God to have his hand on her and help me not get too anxiety driven over the next couple of weeks while she recovers. So, but anyway, that's what I'm doing this day, and I was going to actually try to do more like my normal long run, which is 5 miles, 5 or 6. But because I was getting everything ready for her and taking her to the vet, it's close to 10 or maybe after 10 at this point. It's warm and humid. So I'm just gonna do the 3 like it calls for and be good with that. And my husband should be back in town tonight. So if he's able to watch her for a little bit tomorrow, I might do some walking or something hike related, which is what I'll talk about in my next walk break. Here is what's coming down the line as far as training and why we did a practice hike the other day that you saw. So let's keep going. My shoes today, first time riding in this particular pair, will be my Marathon for Time shoes for my Figment outfit that I'm really excited about. So just throwing that in there. Okay, that was a little hill, so that's why I was talking. We're gonna keep going now. Okay, so I guess I'll start with what has changed since I filmed my training preview. My husband and I had plans to go to one place for fall break, but that fell through. So I was looking around, looking at beach locations, And I saw that it just so happened that Cocoa Beach runs a half marathon during our fall break. So I was able to convince my husband to go on a racecation. This will be in October. So what that's done to my training is that I have, I'll be incorporating not just what I've already shared, the marathon workouts and the long runs on the Jeff Galloway plan, but I'm going to incorporate a few half marathon workouts, which will help with the marathon. And then they also run a 5K the day before, which I looked at the results from last year, and I am positioned real well with my age group to place in my age group. So I'm going to try for that. So I'll be doing some speed workouts sprinkled in. I'll start doing those here in a few weeks. It'll probably be after the other thing that I haven't talked about yet, which is our hike vacation that's happening in 3 weeks. And I'm not going to show where we're going because I want it to be a surprise. I'm going to vlog the whole thing because it will essentially, this really long hike, overnight hike, will be my training for one of the weeks. So obviously I won't be able to run. So I'm really excited to share. But that's why we went on a practice hike on Tuesday. And when I realized that I need to 1 or 2 days each week between now and the hike is to do some very specific strengthening things for my shoulders and for my quads in the eccentric contraction, because I always am weaker on a descent on these hikes. My muscles just get real tired, so I'm gonna be working on that. So you'll see a little bit of that. I did a little bit of it this week. I did some walking on the treadmill, holding weights. This is what I did on Wednesday. Holding weights to help strengthen my shoulders and using those trekking poles. And then yesterday I just did a Peloton HIIT workout just for my second Galloway run of the week for 3 miles. So that brings us to today. And I've been walking for a minute, so I probably should run a little bit more. But we are 2 miles in, 1 more mile to go. All right, last run of the week is done. Like I said, I might do some sort of strength / hike preparedness exercise tomorrow that will, something I can do in the house where I can keep an eye on my little Sadie. Pretty good week, anxiety-filled week. But honestly, if I can make it through this week and still get all the stuff, all the running in, I think I probably can handle anything. So I'm going to finish my walk back to my house, and we'll wrap this week up. And you know what I haven't talked about yet is the 90s movies for the week. So I will talk about that and close out this video for week 1 of Goofy training. Can't believe it.
Check this out. I got this on Amazon. It is Goofy Movie Pop Socket, keeping with the 90s theme and the fact that I'm training for Goofy. So this has been quite a week. This is actually my second take at doing this close to the video, because the first one, apparently, the file got damaged. So, yeah, so and a little bit of an unconventional week. I did do 3 runs like Galloway's planned, calls for, but I also did the hike, and then I did a couple of other exercise type things that'll be good for running, but are really geared towards getting me ready for the hike that's coming up in a few weeks. 90s movies. This week it's Beauty and the Beast and Newsies. I haven't watched the Newsies yet, but I watched Beauty and the Beast last night. It's such a cute movie. I had it on and I was doing, some stuff around the kitchen, just, singing along. Loved the songs in that movie. So it was fun to start off my 90s movies list with Beauty and the Beast. And I'll get around to the Newsies. But I don't know that I've shared this on video yet, but we're going to talk about the intro section for 26 marathons. But I take notes from what I read. I'm putting them in my training journal, which is really just a blank monthly planner, and then I buy like the Happy Planner stickers and I decorate, and I also got some stickers off of Etsy that will count down once I get to that point. But the intro that Meb wrote for his book talks about the mindset of running to win, and how that doesn't necessarily mean running to like win the race, like get first place. And he mentions in there how out of all the marathons he ran, he only ever came first in like 3 or 5, or not very many. It was a very small number. But that when he goes into a race, he goes in with the mindset of doing his personal best and trying to beat his personal goals instead of beating another person. And that's the same mindset I try to have. I know I mentioned a little bit ago how I'm hoping to place in my age group for a 5K, and that's great. But even more than that is I'll set a time goal and try to beat my own personal record for my 5K. And competing against myself just seems to be what works for me, and brings me that joy from this running journey. But there was a quote that I wrote down from the intro from Emil Zatopek. If you want to run a mile. If you want to experience a different life, run a marathon. And I know I've seen on Instagram and Facebook people posting how, this is going to be such a journey. It's going to be hard. It's going to be tough. Even in just this next week, trying to juggle caring for Sadie. I'm going to go pick her up here in just a little while from her little spay surgery, and keeping her entertained without risking injury from her surgery, and keeping an eye on her and trying to find time to run, and all of my other just normal life stuff. I'm very nervous and a little anxious about it, but I just got to take it one day at a time, and that's how we got to do this training, is take it one run at a time, and just focus on where you are instead of if you think too much about what's coming, at least for me, it can get a little bit overwhelming. And the verse that I thought of when I was reading the intro about running to win was 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verses 24 through 26, which talks about, running a race to win the prize. And I know in other devotions that I've done that I put on here, people have speculated that Paul, because of how many running metaphors and sports metaphors that he uses, that he was some sort of athlete. And he writes stuff like this. And I think even like Meb, he's not necessarily referencing like a first place prize. In the race of life, for me, the prize is, living a life glorifying to God and telling as many people as I can about him and how amazing he is. And that's why, at the end of all my videos, I have my little saying, which you'll hear in a minute. And just, I think not often enough people don't get told how special they are and how they were created that way. So, the intro was short, but I told my running buddy on Tuesday when we were on our way to the trailhead for that hike that I read that intro. I actually read it out loud to my husband as we were on our way to church the other day. But I read it and I was just, it made me want to cry, because he talks about that feeling that he had when he was crossing the marathon that he was referencing in the intro. That feeling that you get, and I'm so excited to experience that. So I hope everyone is doing well. If you are training, I hope you had a great first week of training, and that it went well, and you're psyched for next week. So be sure to give this video a like and comment. Let me know how your training's going. If you haven't already told me what you're training for, and be sure to subscribe to get all the fun and sometimes unique things that are going to happen here in the next few weeks for my training. Always remember that you are God's masterpiece. I'll see you next week. Bye. I almost forgot. Be sure to visit the link in the description below to donate to my fundraiser for Kelsey's Hope Foundation. And if you donate between now and August 1st, for every $5 you donate, you'll be entered to win a Kixology book about running shoes. Thanks for donating. Hi, and welcome back to the channel. That was thunder. I better hurry this up.